So one of the best things in the world is Dragon Ball, and crazily enough, it very well could have ended before a large majority of people even knew what Dragon Ball was. Now, if you even know what Dragon Ball is, you can pretty much come to the conclusion that it could have ended anywhere. It could have ended at the Frieza saga, it could have ended at Cell, and it did end at Buu for a very long time, but the thing is, it was actually intended to end by the creator, Akira Toriyama, a very long time before that. So a few months ago, I actually got my hands on the Dragon Ball manga, and at the end of these books, there was a huge Q&A session between just random fans of Dragon Ball and Toriyama that took place back when he was writing the original manga, and this kind of blew my mind, but originally, Dragon Ball was supposed to end after they first summoned Shenron. And that was absolutely crazy to me because the best thing about Dragon Ball is not the first arc, it's decent, but all I'm saying is I'm super glad Dragon Ball did not end after Goku took down Pilaf's castle, because imagine if that was Dragon Ball. Those series of events was all Dragon Ball was. Now, another time Dragon Ball was supposed to end, and this is taken straight from Toriyama, at the start when he was first asked about how many chapters Dragon Ball would go on for, he said about 50 chapters, so that would be about 1 year's worth of work. At around 50 chapters, they were nearing the end of the 21st World Tournament, and for those of you that don't know, the 21st World Tournament was directly after the first arc. It was the second arc of Dragon Ball, so pretty much Toriyama did not want this series to be a long series. Initially, he was only going for about 50 chapters, and that equated to about 30 episodes in the anime series. Now, going back, I said that I got my hands on the Dragon Ball manga, and I pretty much read through the entire thing, and every time I got to the end of the book, I would always check out the Q&A with Toriyama, just to see where his mindset was at the time. And out of the blue, some guy asks him, "When are you planning on ending this series?" And he replied with something like, I can't remember the exact quote, but he said he wanted to end the series at around 10-11 volumes. Now, if we go online and check this out, we can see that Dragon Ball Volume 11, we're just gonna go with 11 to see what this is. At the end of Volume 11, they are midway through the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament. So obviously Toriyama answered this question before he even got to this stage of the series. Someone brought up Toriyama's previous comments about Dragon Ball running for around 10 or 11 volumes, and he responded with something like, "The only reason I didn't end it is because of all the support I'm getting. I can't end it right now because people are enjoying it way too much." Now moving on to Dragon Ball Z, everyone thinks it was supposed to end, or it was going to end, with Frieza. And I'm almost 100% positive that Toriyama at least thought about ending it with Frieza, but again, just like it was before, Dragon Ball was way too popular of a series to just end with Frieza, so of course, like anyone would, he kept going, and that leads us into Cell, where again, a lot of people think that is where Dragon Ball should have ended, and honestly, it really could have, because if you think about it, everything was at peace. There was no wrongs in the world, there was nothing that had to be done, really. He could have easily ended it there, but it all goes back to the popularity of this franchise. It was way too popular for Toriyama to just stop, and that leads us into the stuff with Majin Buu, and obviously, as we all know, that is where Dragon Ball ended for a very long time until recently, Dragon Ball Super. However, the thing with Dragon Ball Super is it doesn't go past the ending of Dragon Ball Z, or at least not yet. So technically there's only two real endings to Dragon Ball right now. If you want to count Dragon Ball GT's ending, that is kind of the, as we know, unofficial ending, but as of right now, the real ending to Dragon Ball still is Goku flying off with Oob. So that has been the 7 times Dragon Ball almost ended and did officially end. I want to thank you all for watching, and until we meet again, I will see you in the next Dragon Ball video.